My name is Emily. I am a Ukrainian Canadian living in Riverview, New Brunswick. I am currently in my final year at St. Thomas University studying history, and I think having a historical background is really important when it comes to understanding this invasion and being able to look at the historical roots of why this war has come to pass. I am a first-generation Canadian on my father's side and a second-generation Canadian on my mother's side. And even though I grew up in New Brunswick at a time when the Ukrainian community wasn't as large as it is now, I was never allowed to forget my roots and where my family comes from. And even though I might have taken it for granted at the time, I definitely don't anymore, and I'm really proud of where my family comes from. Having been to Ukraine twice really allowed me to fill the gap that I had when it came to connecting with my Ukrainian identity. I was able to make such great memories when it came to connecting with my family, and also when it comes to understanding my culture and my own background. And being able to immerse yourself in something like that, I think, is very important and helps you better understand who you are and where you come from. The memories that I made in Ukraine, they're very precious to me, and I am able to cherish them even more nowadays, especially given with what's going on in Ukraine. So I went to Ukraine a few months before Maidan and then a few years after Maidan. And even though there was just a few years difference between the two trips, I was really able to see a big difference within Ukrainian society. Post-Maidan Ukraine was very focused on their culture, on speaking the Ukrainian language. In a way, we became much more culturally and nationally aware. And I think that awareness really played into this resilience and this bravery that you are seeing now with the soldiers and the people that are fighting off this Russian invasion, and I think that's really important. Even though Ukrainians have been through so much oppression, especially during Soviet times, the fact that we've never given up on our culture and our language, it's very important to our fight today, and we're still fighting for our freedoms and the ability to express ourselves how we want to be able to speak our own language, to be able to embrace our own customs, our culture. This is, another aspect of the fight that I think a lot of people don't talk about, but it's very important to who we are. And this is an issue that we've been fighting not just recently, but for a very long time. When it comes to this invasion, what the mainstream fails to recognize is that, yes, it is an act of war, but it's also an act of genocide. And this invasion is truly a manifestation of a centuries-long genocidal policy against Ukrainians. And I think Ukrainian resistance and bravery is so important in this fight, because if we didn't have that, we'd not only lose our land and our sovereignty, but we'd lose our Ukrainian identity and our form of life. And without that fight, we'd essentially be nothing. This invasion is so significant to Ukraine because it really brings to light all the oppressive policies that we've had to be subjected to throughout our history and continue to be subjected through as a result of this war. But knowing Ukrainians, I know that we will come out of this war stronger than ever. We will not give in to an imperialist regime. We will not forget our culture. We will not forget our language. And we will not forget who we are as a people. Even though this invasion has been very hard on a lot of us, on ourselves, on our families, on our entire community, I'm very, very grateful for all the love and support that has been sent to myself, my family, and to the Ukrainian Club. I really want to thank all my fellow New Brunswickers who have come together so quickly to show their solidarity and show their support for Ukraine and for Ukrainian Canadians as well. It's very surreal to see Ukrainian flags being flown all across Moncton. It's not something I ever thought I'd see before, but I'm truly grateful for the amount of support and love that we've gotten. And so I just wanted to say thank you to all those who have shown such love. The attitude of we're all in this together has really helped the community and myself, I think, really get through this crisis. And I would just like to say thank you to all of those who have stood by us and continue to do so.